Hi everybody, it's Valerie with J&S Hobbies and Crafts, and we have the cutest little country style dress that we are designing today with Designs by Shellie Country Affair paper pad. The colors in this have the most beautiful pastels and pinks and greens and mauves and checkers and polka dots and all kinds of fun stuff. So this dress is going to be very 50s style, as you can see. So I'll be using the lighter polka dots for the skirt and the darker polka dots for the top. And I've made patterns for this. As you can see, there's the bodice, and I changed up the collar and actually added a collar to it. So here's the collar, and it folds over 2 pieces. And later on, you'll notice that I also added another little surprise element for you. So here's the skirt, and this is a shorter dress, by the way. And look at it, it has its own little apron. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this pattern a lot. Here's the little apron that I made, and the bodice top, which by the way I shortened later because I ended up not liking it that tall. It looked really strange. So I've drawn out my pattern for my skirt. I have 8 pieces, and then I'm going to add the little score marks according to the pattern that you guys have. It has the score marks for it, and these have big pleats. So once you score them, there's only going to be 2 scores per piece. Sorry, it gets a little noisy once in a while. 2 scores per piece. And as you can see, I line up my lines on my scoreboard with a little pencil mark. And then you do the 2 scores added by the little marks that you do there. It makes it easier for you guys to see. And then fold in on both sides. You fold in on both sides, okay? So once you have all 8 pieces done and all of them folded, they're going to look a little bit like this. Okay, so get them all folded in really nice and neat. And then you're going to go ahead and add your Scor-Tape. Now you can glue if you like, but Scor-Tape for me is easier and dries faster. Obviously it doesn't have to dry, but you understand. It just is quicker and easier. I'm using the Tyvek envelope to put them together. So we sell Tyvek here in five envelopes at a time. And you're just going to cut little slices about 1/2 inch wide, 8 inches or so long. And then attach them half on and half off. So you can see here I'm attaching the little Tyvek there so that it's going to pop off the edge there. And then you just put the next skirt piece right next to it, nice and close and tight. And once you put them together, then you want to fold them facing each other forward. So you put it on there nice and tight. Now I decided at the last minute to add these cute washi tape. It is adorable. It's gold foil with white polka dots. And I'm going to suggest that you add yours before you put your skirt together, but mine was kind of last minute, so that's why the note on the top. After you're done, you can fold everything back up again. It kind of flattened when I put my washi tape on, and that's why I suggest you put it on before you put the skirt together. And then after you're done, put your skirt together on the last seam. Make sure it's nice and tight. Now, something else that I noticed is that the skirt is too big at the top to fit the bodice, so I added little pieces of Scor-Tape and actually pushed the pleats together all the way around. So you might need to do this as well. It's just about a 1/2 inch piece of Scor-Tape in between each pleat, and then push them together, and it'll look like this. That way your bodice is going to fit on a lot better. Now I'm going to go ahead and draw my bodice onto my piece of paper that I chose for the bodice, and to get the pleat marks for the front for the scores, you just need to cut it and then draw along the lines. And I made the little collar out of the same paper. So this is the bodice, and sometimes you have to squeeze it in a little bit so it doesn't look so flat in the front. But later on when you attach it to the skirt, it'll actually round it out. I decided to cut off that back piece just to flatten it all the way around so that it actually had the same distance from the back down to where it attaches at the waistline. Taking your little collar, you want to pull your tabbies down and then attach your collar. And once you've attached your collar, you're going to find that it's going to stick out kind of funny in the front and the back. So I just put some Scor-Tape on the front, just underneath each one of the collar pieces, and flattened them down in the front and in the back. It's going to make it look a little bit nicer. So there's the front all attached. And then you just take your skirt and cut the little tabs so you can attach it to your bodice. All I did was just take my scissors and make these little tabs, attach some Scor-Tape to it, and then when you place your bodice on, you just have to kind of reach inside and push them against the inside of the bodice. And this is going to help to round the bodice out and obviously attach the skirt. It's the easiest way I could find to do it. At this point, we are pretty much ready to start embellishing. I'm using flat back pearls. And I'm also using our 3/4 inch Venise lace because it's very delicate and I think it's going to give it the perfect country look. I put the lace around the collar. Later on I put it around the waist. And then I decided at the last minute that this dress needed to have some buttons. So I cut those same flat back pearls apart and then I added it to a little strip of paper that's going to look like the seam down the front of the blouse, and use the gold Stickles to make the buttons look gold. And this takes a while to dry, so you might want to do this ahead of time and set it aside. And you can see here that I'm just going to go right down the front of the dress to make it look like it buttons up. And I actually decided to do it down the front of the skirt as well, so I made another one. And I'm going to set these aside to dry and add them later. So I've embellished the bottom with lace. I've embellished the waistline with lace, and then I added pearls all along the edges of all of that. Now for the fun part, I decided to add pockets. So I went ahead and cut the pockets out, added a little bit of the washi tape to the top, and these pockets are actually cut out of the same paper I used for the bodice, and I attached them. Now this is the apron, and you can use these little strips of paper that have these little birds and bunnies on them and add them for the waistline. And then I also decided to fussy cut out some of the little animals from the paper and applique them onto the front of the apron. Make sure you do your little score marks so that you can make the pleats in the apron. And this apron is actually flat once it's pleated. So this is how we pleat it. And then we attach the bodice and the apron strings around it and put a magnet. So that's how it gets put together. And I also added a little bit of ribbon at the top that would be going around the neck. So this is what it looks like when it's done. It is detachable, and I love how it turns out. Of course, you can see I added a little bit of the same lace to the apron, just trimmed the bottom and the top. And on the back of the apron is a cute little bow that I also put in the pattern for you. So I hope you enjoyed this dress. It actually goes together quite quickly. And you can detach, there's the little magnet. You can take off the apron, and there's those cute little gold buttons. So everybody, I hope you enjoy making this dress. I enjoyed making it. Have a great day, and happy crafting, everyone.